You guys asked for it and I'm here to deliver. But here's the thing, the TMNT run is so long, I don't know where to start. So I thought it best I start from the beginning, the true beginning, the origins of the Foot Clan. Now most of you know who the Shredder is, you know who Master Splinter is, you know about the boys, but do you know where the Foot Clan came from? We are learning today the true origins of the Foot and the origin of the Shredder. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Get comfortable because it is going to be a long one. And our story begins with a warrior. His name was Takashi. He served the Lord who bears no meaning in this story. He was so skilled, in fact, that this lord felt threatened by this soldier, this warrior. He sent a whole legion of soldiers to put him down. Now, this was a mistake because as a warrior, he knows how to cook. So he cooked them up, one by one. I mean, it was a long fight and he wasn't invincible. This ain't no Marvel or DC. He was scratched a bit. Then he found out the truth because most of the people he ended earlier were just in the way. Now he faced off against the real warriors. And even with that, even after losing a leg, he still stood his ground, taking them all out. This was a betrayal, but still, he stood his ground. But you see, the universe has its way of getting revenge for one who's betrayed. And this guy, well, wasn't his time yet. He was carried to a castle where he got treatment that was strong enough to even revive his torn off foot. This was the birth of the Foot Clan. And this is his story. But let me take a pause for a minute because someone is giving this presentation. Let's call him the professor because he is just that. No value. It's the professor who was revealing the pure secrets of the Foot Clan. In the crowd was April O'Neil, Casey Jones, and the Turtles. They wanted to hear these secrets, and he kept on going. I mean, he knew all the legends. This was supposed to be impossible, right? But nah, he knew everything. Well, almost, because history, well, you just had to be there, right? Because he knew for a fact that after he was revived, he formed a clan, and he worked with the Kitsune to get revenge on his lord. This was bloody revenge, so it came as no surprise that his men were not comfortable killing innocents. I mean, they were cool with setting the village on fire, but innocents, men, women, and kids, nah. They made sure to save who they could, but still, they were not deaf. They had heard the rumors that their master was working with a demon fox. And today they were going to be proven right because yes, the demon fox was present and he was working with her. She morphed into a human form and it was obvious now that yeah, all the rumors were true. They were actually the bad guys in this story. It was hard to hear. Even after the lecture, the Turtles and Casey and April decided, yeah, he knows way too much. Like, there's something wrong here. I mean, Leo was the only one that saw the value. Information on the Foot Clan? Yes, please. But you see, the Foot Clan, well, they have ears too. They know about this professor. Enter Karai. She wanted to give him a job. And he was curious. The Turtles went back to their father because they wanted to know the truth as well. I mean, he was the reincarnation of a ninja from that era. He knew about the Kitsune. He knew about the Metal Knight. And so he told them. He told them about how rebellion was fostered, how nobody wanted to be working for a demon, especially because their master would just suddenly disappear and she would come back with some liquid. And next thing you know, he's back to top form. They were curious. They knew it was magic. But Oroku Manjo said, I'm not attacking till I understand what the hell is going on. So that night, he did. When she came back with her massive liquid and watched his master drink it, gaining back his youth, he understood. She was giving him the elixir of life. Everlasting but not permanent. He wanted permanent. Before he was going to get it, Oroku Manjo pulled up. The betrayal was unexpected, but it was pretty obvious why they betrayed him. He was working with a demon. They do not work with demons. You die. Keep in mind, this was still Takashi. He was a fantastic swordsman, but he did not have his youth. And they timed it perfectly that he didn't take the juice, so he was weaker. And because of this, he died. Really, this betrayal could never be forgiven. And the Kitsune promised as much. I will return, and when I return, you will all burn. As they listened, they came to the realization that this is the type of secrets that get people killed. That professor is definitely in danger, but Wrath and Casey knew. Yeah, that guy is a little bit too sus. And yes, they were right to think that way, because he was being groomed to join the Foot. The Shredder had already tasked Karai with that simple task. Bring him to me. I want his mind. She wanted to know more, but you don't question the Shredder. The only one he responded to was actually Alopex, because she was just curious, and he said power. Knowledge is power. And he had knowledge Master Splinter didn't, because he knew exactly where the Kitsune was getting the juice from her metal knight. And that metal knight should come as no surprise. It was the Krang. Yeah, that was the ooze. The days that followed saw the turtles trying to go get the professor, but they saw her. He was working with Karai. They could never let that happen. The Shredder should never be allowed to get what he wants, because oftentimes it becomes bad for the world. Literally, he's an evil mastermind. They drove, the professor tried to crack some jokes, but Karai wasn't feeling it. Please sit in silence. And then she noticed a van, that big-ass turtle van. Yeah, evade. Men, get ready. They wore their suits quickly and they did battle on the road. But we see ASAP, the turtles are ready for this because, yeah, they ninjas for real. Raphael goes on ahead and he's greeted by Karai, who was here to protect the professor. But you see, this was his plan. He knew she was there. So he used the opportunity to make a dive and plant a tracker on the professor himself, ensuring that they will still find him, even after losing the tire of their van. As they lost their vehicle, they gave chase on foot. But Karai said, nah, you're not following us. Poof, smoke bomb, bitch. Because yes, they're ninjas too, but they had a tracker planted. They knew exactly where he was. He was with the Shredder. The good professor was wondering, who the hell are you guys? He said, professor, you know who we are. And that should not be your biggest focus right now, because we give you an opportunity to earn. We are the foot. He said, what? The foot? That's impossible. Do we look impossible, motherfucker? Your research is detailed, but I want to see how well you could do with the proper backing and proper resources. We jump back to the past again to see, yes, the Foot Clan had completely transformed. Years have passed and Okoromandru had had children, and his son had an affinity for darkness. He actually drew closer and closer to the Book of the Foot. This is how he knew, yeah, the man he killed had reincarnated into his firstborn son. Still, he chose to give him love and support because he was just a child, a black canvas. But years after that, we see that he turned out to be a piece of shit, putting hands on women that weren't his. And when they struck back, he actively tried to kill them. Thankfully, Hamato Yoshi stood in place. Hamato Yoshi, as you could tell, is the reincarnation of Master Splinter. He was an honorable man. And even when his father always put a peace to this fight, there was always still hostility. Hostility grew even more, especially because Hamato Yoshi got promoted to the same level. He was now a Chunin, which was an insult. He was the heir of this organization, wasn't he? Hamato Yoshi, being a good man, always tried to find peace with Saki, but Saki wasn't trying to hear it. He wanted everything for himself. This was his destiny, right? Wrong. Because he was living the wrong life. He was a reincarnation, and the truth had been buried. You are not just Saki. You are someone else, and the truth is underneath the floorboards. The Kitsune was back, and as promised, she brought war. The turtles were fixing their car, and as soon as they were done, they started scaling the building into the Foot Clan's lair. And as soon as they were inside, it was all smoke. The fight had begun. They were looking for the professor, and Shredder, well, he found out the truth. Smacked the shit out of Karai, because what type of ninja are you, allowing yourself to be bugged? Idiot. Literally at the same time, they found out the turtles were already here. Alopex, protect the professor. Yes, master, she did her job well. While the professor was freaking out because this was his first mutant, Shredder went out to handle business, because you don't pull up to my home and think you can have your way. Never again. And I say never again because as he flipped through the book, he saw the truth. This wasn't his life. His life was to come, and his father sent a unit out to bring him back. But the unit were filled with people that despised Saki. So as soon as they saw him, they attacked. He assumed this meant his father gave the kill order. This was wrong. He thought he had been betrayed, so he killed every single one of them. The fox saw this and realized that this was her opportunity. Your father betrayed you, and I will help you get your revenge. Back in the present though, Karai was trying to gain back her honor, launching multiple attacks on Leonardo and Raphael, allowing Casey and April to go find the professor. They expected to find the whole Foot army, but yeah, they met Alopex, and Alopex don't play. As soon as they saw her, they ran the fuck away. Ain't nobody trying to get killed. Thankfully, Donatello was there, and so was Michelangelo. They took the bulk of the ninjas and allowed Casey and April take the professor to safety. They fought hard, but it wasn't just them, because yes, Master Splinter and the Shredder were facing off in the middle. You are dishonorable as hell. Most honorable, my father betrayed me. As we see that thanks to the chemicals provided by the fox, he was able to relive all his past history and life all at one moment. He remembered who the hell he was, what he has learned, and especially about the Metal Knight and the quest for immortality. Back in the present though, Alopex was not backing down. She wanted the professor. Neither was Karai. The turtles realized, yeah, we need to dip. So, smoke bomb. They were out of there, right? Wrong. Alopex does not play. She does not fill the shredder. Even while Karai thought she was with a smoke, Leonardo just kicked her to the side like, back off, bitch, goddamn. It was time to leave. They got in their car, but Alopex was on their ass. She grabbed Raphael, fighting. Raphael told them to leave, while Alopex was going crazy. Karai told her, chill. Go get the professor or the book. Don't let them escape. Raphael, on the other hand, was knocked into a guy with a bike. He just stole the bike right off this man because he was terrified of seeing a mutant. Yeah, thanks for the bike, buddy. And he just drove away, allowing him to chase Alopex down because she caught the bus with her legs, bruh. The book. Give me the book. Raphael said, fuck off my brother's son. Threw a helmet at her head, causing her to fall down. She was enraged. When I find you, Turtle, I will kill you. They were safe, at least for the moment. Now it was time to find a safe place to chill. The professor just wanted to know, what the hell, what's this all about? He said, the book. Yeah, you're being groomed by an immortal warrior. He said, immortal? Oh yeah, I saw it in the book. The Dragon Warrior, right? Leo said, pause. Dragon Warrior? Does that mean this brother Shredder is unkillable? Yes. Yes, he is. Because in the past, as soon as he realized his potential, he came back, killed his master, went to his father, ended him too, in his own home. And he framed everything like an assassination attempt, allowing him to take full control of the organization. I mean, it was his to begin with in his past life, apparently. He came back and required nothing but loyalty. Nothing. The good professor was hearing all this while Michelangelo was translating pure Japanese. I mean, even the professor could not do that. None of the tutors could do that, but suddenly Michelangelo is now an expert? God damn. Homeboy just wanted to read more mangas, and the professor wanted to know what was next. Master Splinter told him straight up, we're going to burn that fucking book. Shredder can never get what he wants. He said, burn the book. Now, I'm not going to lie, this was the dumbest thing Splinter could ever do. He was a historical professor, and you just told him the biggest discovery of the century. You're going to burn it? Because, yeah, he might be evil? Get the fuck out of here. Worst part is, they finally tracked him down. Right outside the hideout, they heard him scream, Hamato Yoshi, I have come for what is mine. Relinquish it to me or you die. Splinter was confused, like, why is he announcing himself? He's supposed to be a ninja. And then he realized he knew his tactic because he did it once before in the past. He announced his presence because his boys were moving in through the back. Yeah, it was war. The professor used the confusion to try and steal the book. Like, nah, I'm not letting you guys burn this book. The fuck you doing? Get away from me, little girl. April knocked his ass out like, shut the fuck up, bitch. He looked at her like, yeah, I apologize for my outburst, but I'm out. You guys can keep the book. I'm running. He ran outside into the Shredder's hand and he was like, yeah, they took the book. He said, okay, get in the car and swear to God that they do not have or destroy my book because you will burn next. Splinter looked to his boys like, I'll distract him. You guys sneak out through the back. And he did just that. He went outside and fought the Shredder. And it was a good fight. But the Shredder knew this tactic as well. They are escaping through the back. Go get the Malopex. They moved quickly and the fight, well, it was absolutely freaking awesome. Ninja versus ninja. One aiming to kill, the other aiming to just subdue. April just called the cops. She was not here for jokes. As soon as the cops pulled up, everybody scattered. Even the Shredder was like, God damn it. We're leaving. He had the professor, but now he lost his book. It was sad because Master Splinter, as soon as he got that shit, he burnt it. The Shredder knew he was never going to see that shit no more. You have failed. Ever since we got you, you have just stressed me the fuck out and burnt my book. You better be useful before I skin you alive. This is when we discover the truth. Because yes, as he became the new leader of the Foot Clan, he wasn't going to be a slave like his past life. Never. He found the Metal Knight, and with his foot soldiers, he destroyed him. He launched arrows on arrows and managed to kick him through his portal, injured. Begone, crying. Now, he had one more thing to do, secure his immortality, and she had a plan. It was a step-by-step process. The first step was consuming concentrated ooze, and then committing seppuku. He was going to die for a moment, but he was going to be reborn because they soaked him in concentrated ooze again. He was then sealed off by his son and his woman for the time for reawakening. Years will pass, and when the time comes when you are born again, you will be truly immortal, a being born from the magics of a demon, a metal monster, a metal knight. Awake into a world of light. You are the undying master of the Foot Clan, the Shredder. If you have reached this point, thank you for watching this video. And I mean, this is a perfect entry point to the TMNT franchise, don't you think? Now, let's have some fun with it, because in the next video, we're going to get to see the immortal Shredder die.